This episode of the What's Happening Delco podcast is brought to you by Delco Meets for Business. Check us out on Meetup at Delco Meets, the number 4 business. Register and attend one of our incredible networking meetings. We meet the 1st through the 4th Tuesday at the Upper Crest Restaurant in Newtown Square. We meet the 1st through the 4th Thursday at the Brick House in Ridley Park. We look forward to seeing you there. What's happening, Delco? I'm Rich Shane, and welcome to the What's Happening Delco podcast. Today, I'm joined by Lindsey Bonaventure and Meghan McGoey of Lima Estates. Ladies, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Okay, Lima Estates. Where is that? What is that?
So we are located right in Media. We are an Axe retirement life community. Our sister community, Granite Farms, is not even 5 minutes away. And we have been here for a very long time. So we hope everybody listening would know where we are. We're right down the road from the old Granite Run Mall, across from the Fair Acres on 352.
And in front of Tyler Arboretum.
Correct.
Yep.
Talk about some of the services that Lima Estates provides.
Lima Estates is a CCRC, which stands for Continuing Care Retirement Community. And we offer the life care contract, which means that our residents who live here don't have to worry about rising healthcare costs. They know that they will be able to be taken care of throughout the rest of their life. We have every level of care right here on our campus, and their monthly fee will be the same since the time that they moved in. So the security of the financial security really gives people a great peace of mind. But I will say that I think the best part about our community is that it's like a resort. We have a ton of things going on, a lot of activity. We have a lot of wonderful amenities and just really great people. There's a lot of socialization here.
You said many levels of care. Speak to the levels of care that people can find at Lima Estates.
Sure. So we have independent living. So it's an independent living apartment. We have over 240 of those apartments, different sizes, from a 1-bedroom to a 3-bedroom. We have assisted living, which that is when people need assistance with daily care, med management, meals prepared for them. And then we also have a skilled care unit where someone would need 24/7 observation and skilled care. So it's all on one campus under one roof. We also have our home health services. We have our in-house therapy department. We have our own full-time nurse practitioner. We have a full-time chaplain, activities, life engagement. So it's all on one roof. A lot of people say that we are like a cruise ship that never leaves the dock. So always something to do.
Yes, and I would love to add that we are a not-for-profit community managed by Axe Retirement Life Communities, as we mentioned earlier, and it is the largest not-for-profit operator in continuing care communities in the United States. So we have so many, I mentioned Granite Farms estates earlier. We have so many sister communities like that all up and down the East Coast. A lot of our residents love that as well because they like to travel and they like to visit these other spots and connect with Axe residents all over the place. Some in Florida, yes, some in North Carolina, all over.
I think that's fascinating that essentially I equate that in a way, not exactly, but in a way like a timeshare. So if I'm at Lima Estates and I'm heading to Florida, I can check out maybe one of those other Axe retirement communities down in Florida because I'm already part of the community.
Correct. And then you would have the security of the care if something were to happen, in addition to the meals. So you're dining in different resorts up and down the Eastern Seaboard.
That is so wonderful to know. I heard activities at least twice. Can you speak to some of the activities that you offer on a day-to-day basis?
Yes, there are quite a few. The calendar just came out for the beginning of the month, And we have everything from lecture series, we have speakers, we have book clubs, we have a lot of art enthusiasts.
We have an art studio.
We have an art studio. We also have a wood shop where we have residents who make everything from tables to pens and bowls.
Yeah.
So it really depends on what you're interested in. And the one neat thing I will say is with the new residents who are coming in all the time, if anybody has an idea of something that they want to bring to the community, you'll likely meet somebody here who would share that interest, and then you could start another club. So there's always something going on. A lot of our residents will tell new people moving in that there's a lot to do. It's not mandatory fun, but if you want to get out and about, there's always something happening.
Yeah, and we also have a full-time fitness director. So we have a fitness center and a pool. So we do cardio drumming, we do yoga, there's swim classes. So yeah, there's always something to do. We often get comments, not complaints, about the fact that there's too much to do and things are scheduled at the same time and they want to be able to do it all. So it's great.
We have a very active group too. You mentioned the pool. The water volleyball here is so intense. I went to visit the one time and I asked a question to the resident keeping score, and a few of the players were upset that I distracted her. They're very into it. It's a really intense game. They have a lot of fun. I think that happens weekly even.
Yes, twice a week.
So, and there's a lot of people who try things for the first time here, which is neat too. A lot of the people who are moving in are retired. We have some who maybe aren't, but most of them are. And we have folks who tell us all the time that they've tried something that they had never done in their entire life, and now they do it on a regular basis. I think that's really neat too.
There's a quote: if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail, or if you plan to fail, you fail a lot. I don't know. I know I messed that up, but it's about planning. And I think you meet people where they are and need to decide when is the right time to come to Lima Estates. When should they be looking to consider that visit, that tour, and planning out this is going to be the right decision for them.
Rich, you bring up a great point, and that's something that I do personally in my role as outreach. I go out and about I was just at the Middletown Free Library. I'm going to the Aston Library, the YMCA, Rocky Run YMCA, all of these local spots to connect with seniors and their loved ones to help spread the word that it is never too soon to start looking into your retirement living options. I compare it to kind of like your college search. You need to go everywhere. You need to get a good feel. Obviously, you need to understand the contract, their offerings. But this is a huge decision and it's very personal. So you can never do too much research when you're looking into retirement living homes. We welcome people all the time, whether it's to come to an event or a personal tour, or to just come hang out with our residents and share a cup of coffee. The sooner the better, I would say. I think a lot of people tell us that they're too young. We hear that all the time, but you have to be 62 to move into our community, for example. And we have people on our wait list who are in their 50s because they might have been through this with a loved one, and they see that some of the particular apartment styles have a longer wait than others. But it really doesn't hurt to come look into it. We're not going to force you in here. We want you to come and see for yourself and ultimately make the best decision for you.
And just to add to that, as the executive director, when signing contracts with new residents, to hear them say that this is their choice and they want to do this for them and for their family, and it not be a quick decision or a tragic decision that is they're forced to make this. So you want it on your terms, and it's just once they get here, they love it. And as Lindsey said, a lot of people say, no, I'm too young, but we have residents here from 64 to 105 living in independent living. So
Mhm.
it's all about how you make it and how active you are. But you could also not be active. You can still work. You can volunteer on the outside. You can do whatever you want.
Mhm. And that brings up a good point too. A lot of the people I've met with, mostly the ones who say, I don't know if I'm ready. I think I'm too young. I often like to go back to them after they've moved in to hear their thoughts. And almost every single one says that they wish they had done it sooner. So talk to your friends who have done it before as well. That's another piece of advice I tell people.
When somebody comes in for a visit to see you for the first time, what are some of those questions you consistently hear them ask, or what questions you think they should be asking?
One of the big things I tell everyone who's just starting their search is to go into these communities, ask all of the questions about the contracts, how they work. There are so many different types. I can help break that down with anybody who's seriously looking. But the culture is something that you're only going to learn about through the people who live there and the people who have been there for a long time. Talk to the residents, anybody you see walking down the hall, talk to the employees who work there. They will tell you what the place is truly like. And that's another reason why it's really good to start early, because the more you go, the more people you'll get to know, the more questions you'll be able to ask, and learn from the people who've lived through it.
And one of the things we hear a lot is you can just feel the friendliness. I mean, we have a tagline with Acts about loving kindness, and you hear about it from other people visiting that saying that they felt it. So it's all about the feeling. And as Lindsey said, even with the college, you know, when you go to that campus, if it feels right, it's the same way here or with retirement living.
Another good question would be to ask how long the employees have been there. If the employees like their job and they're working in a place where these residents are living, you know that there's going to be a positive atmosphere. The healthcare industry just typically has a lot of turnover. So if you go to a place and they have employees who have been there for many, many years, that's a great sign.
Yeah, and actually at Lima Estates, we have 5 retired employees that moved in to live here. So that says a lot about your job, that you love it enough that you're going to retire there. So yeah, we do have a long tenure. I've been here 18 years, just celebrated in beginning of February. The leadership team has been here. We have 20-year team members, 30-year team members. The average for our culinary staff is 5, but that's because we have servers that start at the age of 14. So, but there's lots of growth. Actually, one of our executive vice president of ACTS started as a dishwasher. So there's people that can go, we educate through our ACTS Corporate University, and our goal is to grow our team members and have them move up the ladder in these positions. So it's a feel. You have to have the right attitude to care for our elders, who are our greatest generation.
We have one person in particular who I love. She was a life care consultant here at Lima Estates. So when asked, like, her favorite part of the job was helping people, and she talked through the contract and what that means. Now, as a resident, she living here, she typically sits in the front lobby, and she is so wonderful because anybody who steps through those doors, not only can she still talk about the contract and any questions you might have, but she can tell you about her own experience of the move and now living here as well. So I think that's a huge testament.
It's wonderful to have those advocates, those champions of what you do, that they want to embrace those that are coming in and say, hey, be a part of what we're doing, and this life and this lifestyle and all that you have going on day to day for you and Lindsey and Meghan. You probably come about many inspirational stories. Who inspires you? Who motivates you?
I will say that our residents are very inspiring. At times when you're not even expecting it. For example, I had a resident meet with me just yesterday for breakfast, and he had attended one of the presentations I did at a local library. So it's like they're our biggest cheerleaders as well. Did not even tell me he was coming, just stopped by. And so he was giving me feedback on the presentation and things that he thought could potentially help in the future. But then on top of it, he just started telling me about what he was doing the rest of the day. And he was going to the local library. Then he was going to help at a local food bank. These people are so busy and they're so involved in the outside community as well. And until you really ask what they're up to, half of them, you would never know it. They're just very humble and very involved. So a lot of them give back in their time. And I find that very inspiring.
Yeah, and I would have to say the same thing, that it's all about the residents. You never know what you're going to hear from them or what challenges they're going through, what they've lived through in their past, and then help them through challenges in this next chapter of their life. We have residents that are teachers, principals, Sunoco execs, Boeing execs, residents that work for GE, guidance counselors, are all the blue collar, hardworking. But yeah, it's all about giving back and teaching. They love having interactions with our servers and teaching the servers about lifestyles. And we have our veteran group. We're American Legion Post 390. And just to hear all of the stories that they went through is just inspiring. And it's something new every day. You never know what you're going to learn.
Mm-hmm.
How do people connect with you? How do they start the process and set up a tour and find out more about Lima Estates?
A lot of people hear about us through our residents. So if you have a friend or a family member who lives here, we have a lot of people who will typically come in to visit and then say, oh, wow, this looks like fun. Beyond that, you can certainly look online. We've been sharing quite a bit on our Facebook page. There's always really fun pictures of whatever the residents are doing, whether it's their happy hour or
Jukebox Saturday
Jukebox
night.
Saturday, yes. So there are tons of ways to learn about us a little bit before coming in, but everybody is always welcome to give us a call and we can schedule a personal tour with them as well if they're interested in that.
Okay, what's the number people should use to call?
How about that?
That's
a great question. But as far as resident referrals, we do get a lot of resident referrals. And what better way to move into retirement than to pick your own neighbors or your family members? We have legacy residents that we've had sons and daughters, we've had mothers and fathers, we've had brothers and sisters all move in. So again, that's a great testament of the care and the active community that we have. But Lindsey, the number?
Yes. So if you wanted to call us directly, you could call 844-966-3961.
And where do people find you on the socials? On Facebook that you mentioned?
So you can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. We're also on YouTube. There's information about all of our communities, so you can dive in and see fun videos and pictures about all of the ACTS communities up and down the East Coast, or specifically Lima Estates, if you just look us up on Google.
You're out and about in Delco and you have a cheesesteak craving. Where are you going?
Well, in my past, again, I'm dating myself. It would have been the Sawmill. My family was raised here. I was born at Lankenau Hospital. My parents lived in Drexel Hill.
If I was going to recommend a cheesesteak to somebody, I would probably say Las Patas in Aston. That's always been my favorite. Delco Steaks is always very, very good. But I really like Las Patas and I like their curly fries too. So I'm a little bit biased there.
Nice. You threw in the curly fries. I like that, Lindsey.
They're so good.
You've satisfied your cheesesteak craving and you're going for a pizza. Where are you heading for pizza?
Well, here at Lima, the fan favorites, either Middletown pizza or Lima pizza. We've also ventured out for Coco's Pizza as well as Pinocchio's.
I really like Little Anthony's. There's something about it right there on State Street. It's my kids' favorite. So I don't know. They're Pinocchios because they, again, give you the dough for the kids. But
You have a convenience store need? Where are you heading? Wawa or Royal Farms?
definitely Wawa. Yes. Our sister community is actually right next to the original Wawa dairy farm. So, I mean, everybody in Delco loves Wawa, but I feel like we really love Wawa here.
How do you describe Delco to somebody who's never been here or has not heard of Delco before?
You know what? That's funny because as a person who's lived here my whole life, when I have moved a few places, it's been difficult in some ways to describe. I always say it's just a very friendly part of outside of Philadelphia. So, and it's funny because a lot of people have heard of it before. When I was down in Florida, there were quite a few who knew exactly where Delco was located. But I think the best way to describe it is just really good people and a close-knit community.
And huge Eagles fans.
Oh yeah.
Go
Oh, yeah.
Birds.
You have friends or family coming in from out of town and you want to give them or take them to have that Delco experience. Where are you sending them or where are you taking them?
Well, one of our family favorites is always the St. Patty's Day Parade in Springfield. So that was awesome. And the good old traditional Rose Tree Park, even for the summer concerts, as well as the Christmas tree lights, that's just Delco to me and family tradition.
Whenever I've had people come into town, I've always tried to schedule it around one of the fun events down State Street. I love like the Super Sunday or the food festival. I know we're going to the art show coming up in a few weeks on April 27th, but I feel like that always gives visitors a great sense of the entire community because so many people come out for that, so many businesses and residents, but there's always fun to be had and always a lot of great food.
Lindsey and Meghan, is there anything you want the listeners to know more about you or more about Lima Estates? What can we share with them that maybe we haven't told them yet or haven't told them already?
I would say come visit us, come see for yourself. Everyone is always welcome. Another really fun thing that we offer here is our Once Again shop run by our residents. It's a little thrift store that we have on campus. So we have a sign outside whenever that's open. You're welcome to join us then. Or as we said earlier, give us a call if you want to come a different time.
And I would just say that, yes, definitely come visit us, come and feel the loving kindness on our campus. And we are not the typical stereotype of a retirement home. You come here to thrive. So come visit.
I feel that from the both of you. I feel that energy, that thriving. And I think that's important. We want to thrive in life and you provide that. Thank you so much for being a friend of What's Happening Delco. We look forward to seeing you out and about in the community and just inspire. That's what you do for me. That's what the residents do for you and continue to do that. And thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much,
you.
Rich.
Hey, it's Rich. Thank you so much for being a listener to the What's Happening Delco podcast. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to learn more about the people and businesses in our community. I have been a real estate agent for over 25 years working with first-time home buyers to last-time home sellers. As a listener of the podcast, my gift to you is a complimentary 1-year American Home Shield home warranty. This is for buyers and sellers that I help. If you're looking to move anywhere in the United States, I have you covered with an amazing network of real estate agents. I look forward to hearing from you. My direct line is 215-313-3777, or you can email me at rshaneremax@comcast.net. Oh, by the way, I am never too busy for any of your referrals.